Question wall, page 149. Question wall, page 149. Before the break, we were talking about financial instruments, and we were raising finance in respect of issuing financial instruments and understanding the distinction between whether the instrument we've issued is debt or equity, and it's a very, very important distinction. If it is debt, our balance sheet is weaker, our future profits have an expense. If it is equity, our balance sheet is stronger. We've got to show a true and fair view. And I hope we broadly understand the difference between debt and equity and the importance of it. This is a question on page 149. Discuss how Wall should account for the instruments. Wall has Class A shares. These are correctly accounted for as equity. Wall has issued several financial instruments to raise finance, details of which are as follows. Class C shares. Class C shares contain a put option. If there is a call option, I can call them back. So if there's a call option, I can buy them, I can call them back. If there is a put option, the power is in the hands of the shareholder. So the person who owns the share can put them back onto me. This would require me, to redeem the shares at any time at the original amount subscribed plus 4%. There is no contractual obligation to pay dividends. I need your help here. This is a 2-3 mark little exercise. I have issued my Class C shares. Is it debt or equity?
Well, actually, it's a debt.
Class C shares. You think it is? Debt. Why do you think it is debt? Well, you're right, by the way, it is debt. Why is it debt?
They have the option to redeem.
The shareholders have the option. The shareholders can make me pay back their money. So therefore, I would have an obligation to honour that put option. And when I pay them back the money, I pay them back an extra 4%. And what does that represent? A finance cost. So I would therefore have to initially recognise these proceeds as a liability, and I would have to run a finance cost of 4% through the P&L, and accrue on that liability. So, Class C shares. Class C shares. The shareholders hold a put option. The shareholders hold a put option. They can require Wall to redeem these shares. Wall has an obligation. Wall has an obligation. The proceeds received are debt. The proceeds received are debt. This instrument is a liability. This instrument is a liability. So the shareholders hold a put option. They can require Wall to redeem these shares. Wall has an obligation. The proceeds received are debt. The proceeds received are debt. Full stop, leave a space in the paragraph. The compound 4%. Compound 4% represents a finance cost. The compound 4% represents a finance cost that should be charged and accrued. That should be charged and accrued. Substance. A lawyer may claim that it's equity. A lawyer may claim that they are shares. The truth is, the economic reality is, the substance is, they are debt, and therefore they should be classified and accounted for as debt. The compound 4% represents a finance cost that should be charged and accrued. Next. Wall has issued a contract in return for receiving $1 million. Debit cash, I've got a credit somewhere. The contract gives the counterparty, the subscriber, the rights to buy some Class A shares and to pay 100 million. The exact number of shares I am not certain of. If the share price is 1, I will give them 100. If the share price is 2, I will give them 50. If the share price is 25, I will give them 4. So the number of shares is uncertain. The number of shares is variable. If it's variable, it has to be debt. It's only equity if it's fixed and fixed. So what we've got here for Wall, what we've got here for Wall, is we can talk about the 1 million. We can talk about the contract to be settled in own shares. This contract has a variable number of shares. This contract has a variable number of shares that can be issued. This means it is classified as debt. This means it is classified as a liability. This means it is classified as debt. This means it is classified as a liability. This means it is classified as debt. This means it is classified as a liability. Only if the contract is to be settled for a fixed number of shares and for a fixed amount is it equity. So we get the fixed and fixed rule. Only if the contract is to be settled for a fixed number of shares and for a fixed amount is it equity. But strictly speaking, yeah, the answer to the question is, in this particular case, it is debt. But you know, if you get, this is your one opportunity to demonstrate your knowledge, how you're discussing it, I don't see why you couldn't extend that. And I'm just expanding your knowledge. I've had a quick look at the answer of wall. I've had a quick look at the answer of wall. There are 2 scenarios there, and I'm assuming they're sort of 2 or 3 marks each. I'm going to ask you to have a look at page 150. And on page 150, there is an exercise called brick, and this contains 3 questions. This contains 3 decisions. So the question we're looking at here is on page 150, and the question is called brick, and there are 3 decisions or justifications that we have to make. Let me give you 5 minutes, yeah, to have a look at these 3 scenarios.